Next on Worcester News tonight, a judge rules on the future of the Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church. Plus, a bill filed by Massachusetts legislators look at the possibility of charging assaulting police as a hate crime. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Late last week, a request for a preliminary injunction to allow Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church's demolition was decided on in Worcester Superior Court. Preservationists trying to save the church are facing a disappointing decision by the judge. Our Gretchen LaRosa joins us now live with more. Gretchen?
Anna, after 3 years of devotion to saving this church, preservationists might finally be losing their battle.
So again, it's not a loss only for us, it's a loss for the entire city.
The Mount Carmel Preservation Society filed an injunction to try to keep the church from being demolished. The request went in front of a judge last week and was denied.
It just feels like an abandonment by the Catholic religion of the people there.
CARMELITA BELLO is vice president of the Mount Carmel Preservation Society. She's been fighting to save her church for 3 years and says the future does not look hopeful.
It's a loss, especially for Shrewsbury Street. Once that church comes down, unfortunately, that Italian flavor does not have a base.
Structural and safety concerns forced the church to close its doors in 2016. In a 5-page decision issued Friday, a judge states, despite the group's efforts, the Vatican has already made its decision.
I still have my faith, but my faith is a one-on-one direct line. I don't need the middle person anymore.
The judge says the church is in grave danger of collapsing, and risk of harm to the public has to be considered. Bello says she hopes whoever develops the property will allow the community to have some space devoted to Worcester's history.
And unfortunately, you can't take back something that's gone. You can't build that church today.
Now the group stands by not giving up on the church. They have a meeting later this week to speak with legal representation and see if any action can be taken moving forward. Anna?
Thanks, Gretchen. Well, the state unanimously passes a bill banning child marriage. Worcester Senator Harriet Chandler sponsored the legislation. It states Massachusetts will not allow anyone under the age of 18 to marry, regardless of parental consent. Chandler says she wants people under the age of 18 to be in a position to make good decisions for themselves and not to be coerced into a situation.
There's been a lot of evidence to show that somebody who marries under 18, there's a lot of coercion, a lot of intimidation. There can even be harassment involved. And that is no way to start a married life.
Current law allows anyone under 18 to get a marriage license with parental consent. The bill will now go to the House. A bill filed at the State House looks at the possibility of charging assaulting a police officer as a hate crime. Some police chiefs in central Massachusetts say troubling incidents in nearby states like New York are concerning, and having an added protection like this may be the key to stopping attacks on officers. Our Chandler Walsh has more on the bill. Police officers in New York City are doused with water. The incidents this month have legislators here in Massachusetts calling for more protection for officers. One proposed bill would make assaulting an officer a hate crime. Dudley Police Chief Stephen Wayner thinks it's worth considering.
Police officers, firefighters, correction officers, people are just trying to do their job. When people go out and attack them specifically for that, or cause certainly some serious injury, or even just impede or interfere with them just trying to do their lawful job, that's a big issue.
In Webster, Police Chief Michael Shaw says the department has a good relationship with their community, but his officers still experience their share of disrespect. He says it's nice to see the legislature take action.
Our line of duty deaths are continuously going up. Officers are being ambushed more, being killed by gunfire more than they have in years past. So that's obviously a disturbing trend.
Shaw says the bill could be part of the solution to making the job safer.
If it makes at least one person stop and think and maybe helps one officer not get hurt, then I think it served its purpose.
Chief Wayner says harsher penalties may deter people from acting out against an officer.
I've always looked at it like if a person is willing to assault a police officer, what are they willing to do to the average citizen that's out there?
Both chiefs find the incidents in New York City disturbing and say this behavior shouldn't be tolerated.
Nobody, no matter what they do, should ever be treated like that.
I think regardless of whatever you look at, it's an assault. And again, those people should be dealt with in a serious manner.
That was our Chandler Walsh reporting. Powwow Worcester is just a few weeks away from continuing their artistic vision in the city. This year, Powwow Worcester is partnering with the Worcester Housing Authority and the Worcester Public Schools. The focus will be on community development, diversity, and arts education. Art installations are planned at Great Brook Valley and area schools. More than a dozen artists from around the world, including muralists, cartoonists, and screen printers, are participating. Organizers say each year they choose areas where they want to beautify and activate.
When artists come here, they like to feel that they provide a gift to the city, and we felt that choosing this neighborhood would be the best location for their gift.
The festival will run from August 16th to the 23rd. An alert business owner notifies Sutton police to a truck running in the area of John Road with no one inside of it. When police arrived on scene, they discovered items scattered across the roadway. Sutton police say the items matched the description of items stolen from the Millbury Best Buy hours before. Both police departments had responded to an active break-in earlier this morning, where 4 people forced their way into the store. The Mass State Police Crime Scene Unit is also working to help identify who left the items behind. A staple dessert maker has been based in Worcester for more than 7 decades. But now a minor league team coming to the city, Table Talk Pie, is wondering if they can still operate in their current location. Polar Park is being built adjacent to the company, and they say it may be difficult to get in and out. Our Brittany SCHAEFER has more.
Table Talk Pies has been in the Canal District for more than 70 years, but the construction of Polar Park has the dessert maker wondering if 2 powerhouses can work so close to each other.
Groundbreaking ceremony, and we saw that with all the people descending upon, this area, which was a great turnout, a great event, but it showed us just the difficulty of trying to coexist with the ballpark and the construction.
President Harry Kokina says during the groundbreaking ceremony, his employees and his trucks had difficulties getting in and out of the facility. He says he's worried it could happen more often when the team plays ball in 2021.
Parking, trucks trying to get out, our employees trying to come into work. Guy told me he had to circle around for about a half hour just trying to find a place to park.
The family business, billed as America's favorite pie company, is now considering relocating. Kokina says he would need 100,000 square feet and 4 acres, which isn't easy to come by.
Surprisingly difficult to find large pieces of land here in Worcester that are suitable for bakery production. Not quite as many opportunities as we would have hoped.
Table Talk says a move isn't definite, but it's something they're leaning towards, and they'd like to stay in the city where it all started.
I believe it makes a huge impact. It's a very important part of the Worcester community here. We have a lot of people always come in and say, oh, we've been eating these for years.
And Worcester's been great to us, an important part of our success. That's why we're trying to really see if we can stay in Worcester.
Possible move aside, Kokina says he is excited to be a founding partner of the Worcester Red Sox and looks forward to having Table Talk Pies inside the ballpark. In the Canal District, Brittany SCHAEFER, Worcester News Tonight.
Shore Park Beach remains closed in Worcester due to bacteria contamination. High E. coli bacteria counts were found in a recent testing. The beach is the only one on Indian Lake closed because of the type of contamination. It will remain closed until further testing is done and acceptable levels of the bacteria are found. Clayson Beach and Morgan Park are not affected by this advisory. The city says people should not access the water at Shore Park until further notice.